This is TWiT.
So Jobs calls my house on a Sunday night and he starts, giving me his spiel. He was a hell of a sales guy, as you know, hell of a marketer. But it turned into more of an hour and a half conversation about what he was going to do. And, we got to gossiping about the industry and different trends and different things. And then he started calling every Sunday night for about 4 or 5 weeks, to the point where, the first call, my wife was like, it's Steve Jobs on the phone. By the third call, it was like, it's Steve Jobs on the phone. Here's goes our Sunday night. And these were all about hour and a half, maybe longer conversations.
Wow. He called you very close to the end of his life, and you spent some time with him.
So I'll tell you the story. I remember the date. It was August 24th of 2011, I think. Mm-hmm. He stepped down. That was the day he stepped down as CEO. And he stepped down as CEO because he knew that the end was near. I don't think he knew how near it was, but he knew it was relatively near. He just couldn't. You will remember that he had taken a couple of medical leaves. He'd been down, and then he'd popped back up to where he had enough energy to operate as CEO, and then he would drop back down again. There was this up and down thing. It was a very difficult few years for Apple. Tim Cook had functioned as CEO for 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was during several of these episodes. Other times, even when he was back as CEO, back from these leaves, he would be running the company from his home. He wouldn't come into the office very much. And eventually it became clear to him and to the board that it was really time for him to step down as CEO. So he did. And the editors of the Journal and my own, just me and Kara as the editors of the All Things D website, we wanted some kind of essay, and I was asked to write it. So I'm sitting there at about 6:30 at night Eastern, pounding away, writing this essay. And it was really that essay. He was still live. He was still going to be chairman. So it wasn't really an essay about Steve Jobs, the man. It was because he was stepping down as CEO, I chose to write an essay about just step back. It sort of was saying, step back for a minute and realize the phenomenal run of game-changing products that have come out since during his career, and particularly since he came back to Apple, and all the industries had changed. I'm writing away at this, and the phone rings, and it's him. And he says to me, I just want you to know, even though I stepped down as CEO, I'm not going to be inactive in the company. I'm going to focus on a couple of things, principally television. And I think we've got something really cool. I think we figured it out. I think we've got something really cool. And when are you coming to the Valley next? And I said, well, I'll come anytime if you want, but I had, probably I could be there in a couple weeks if you want. And he said, no, that's too soon. But if you come in a few months, I think I'll have something to show you, NDA, that I think will blow your mind. And I said, great, I'll come. And, we chatted for a few more minutes. I told him what I was doing. He said, well, you better get back to work or something. And he hung up, and I finished this piece, never mentioning this conversation because it was off the record. And the essay ran. And I had every intention of going out and seeing this television project in a few months, but he died 6 weeks later. And I never saw it. I don't know what it was. It's, I don't know. It's a mystery.
Yeah, Walter Isaacson quotes him as saying, we licked it.
Yeah, we cracked the code. We cracked the code or something like that.
It's still a mystery. Whatever it was, I don't think it was the Apple TV. I just don't think we ever saw whatever it was.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.